Today, we're talking about defeating your all or nothing thinking with your weight loss and your health goals during the holidays. Now, everything I'm going to talk to you about today applies any time of year, but even more so during the holidays. I think you need to hear this message because we have a lot going on during the holiday season. There's more stress, there's more parties and gatherings with family, and sometimes family members trigger us, or certain people in our lives trigger us. There's more travel sometimes, there's more food traditions, our meals are just off, and there's treats everywhere. So when these things are going on and there's stress and overwhelm on top of it, it really can feel like staying on track towards your health goals or losing weight or just taking care of yourself, even if you're not trying to lose weight. It can feel like next to impossible with all these things going on unless you are super strict and you say no to everything. But here's the truth. You don't need to deprive yourself or miss out to stay on track. In fact, deprivation always backfires, and you can have the foods that you enjoy and lose weight too. Now, I will say when I was 215 pounds, if somebody had told me that I didn't need to be perfect during the holidays to make progress, I never would have believed them because I couldn't imagine, like, what does that mean? I never wanted to say that I was trying to lose weight or I was trying to get healthier during the holidays because I knew that I would eat the wrong things. In my mind, I was like, I shouldn't be eating those things. And if I eat those things, I failed. Or if I eat too much of those things, I failed. And so I never wanted to commit to saying that I was working towards a goal of losing weight and getting healthier because if I did those things, then I would feel really bad. And I didn't want to feel bad and feel like a failure. And so I never did the things that I really wanted to do because I didn't want to feel like a failure. But the truth is, I was always trying to strive for perfection. And my perfection was really my all or nothing thinking. It has to be perfect in order for me to see progress, which is not true. And this is the trap that so many women fall into. Once you actually learn that perfection doesn't work and being in the all or nothing doesn't work, once you learn and accept that, it's a whole new world. And it's a world that I could have never imagined when I was 215 pounds. So today, I want to give you a simple, powerful mindset shift that lets you enjoy the holidays while still keeping your goals intact so that you can walk into January feeling good about where you are. Whether or not you lose weight, you feel good about how you showed up during the holidays, how you took care of yourself during the holidays, and you don't feel that need to do a detox and get rid of all the sugar and do all the crazy stuff that we try to do in January. Healthy people don't do that. When you go on a weight loss journey, it's all about you getting healthier. So swinging from these extremes of I'm either all in and super strict and super perfect and always expecting perfection out of myself, or I'm just doing nothing and not caring and eating like a jerk and not paying attention to my health at all. That's not what healthy people do. But that was what I thought when I was 215 pounds. I thought that was how healthy people lived. But it's not. That's not how they live at all. So today I'm going to talk to you about this mindset shift. But first, let's talk about why restriction doesn't work. Many women approach the holidays thinking, I have to be good. I just won't eat dessert. I'll skip meals so I can save up calories for the big meal. But here's the problem. Restriction creates rebound. When you tell yourself you can't have something, your brain becomes obsessed with it. Scarcity drives cravings. A scarcity mindset is always going to make you eat more. This leads to restrict, binge, guilt cycle. And that cycle is what derails people, not the holidays itself. So let's talk about how we break that cycle. You can eat any food and lose weight. And if somebody has told you you can't eat bread, cookies, or treats and lose weight, they are lying to you, or they do not understand how nutrition works and energy balance and how that works. I guarantee you can eat the foods that you enjoy and lose weight. You may not be able to eat as many of them, but you can still eat them and make progress, take care of yourself, and lose weight. And of course, everybody knows that if your diet is filled entirely of Fruit Loops, it's not healthy, right? But the goal is not to cut them out. and restrict everything that you like entirely. That's diet thinking. Healthy people don't think that way. The goal is to have a healthy balance. And that is done by making reasonable choices and determining like what is truly worth it to you. The problem that many of us who are overweight face when we're trying to improve our health and lose weight is our all or nothing thinking, this extreme way of thinking and looking at food. So let's say on Monday we start a diet and we think, okay, diet starts Monday, gotta be good. We think about how good we have to be. So we start off the week with this thinking, I gotta be good. And yes, for a few days, we're good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm good. Then Thursday comes and somebody brings donuts into the office and we think about how much we really want a donut. That donut looks really good. Mentally, we start really swirling about this. We're battling ourselves, going back and forth, saying things like, I shouldn't have that. Oh, I'm trying to lose weight. That's really not going to be helpful. I've been so good all week, though, so maybe I kind of deserve it. Eventually, we end up giving into the donut, rationalizing that we've been good, that we deserve it, and then it's just one donut and it won't matter, which is actually true. That's actually the truth. Like the donut itself, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. What does matter is the thinking, because when we eat the donut, the mental spiral happens. And we X out all the successes and all the things that we did well Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In our brains, that one donut erased all progress. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you did all these great things, all these healthy habits. And then Thursday comes and you have one donut and you erase everything you did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the screw it mentality takes over and we ignore our goals. Why should I bother? There's something wrong with me. I have no control around these foods. I have no willpower. We may even think I'm just addicted to sugar. My body can't handle carbs and sugar anymore. Once I start, I can't stop. This is a scarcity mindset and it's a dieter's mentality. You have been conditioned to look at food this way from all the diets you've done. It's not actually how a healthy person lives. And there's no shame if that's you, because that's how I thought when I was 215 pounds. I thought that way too. And this is a blind spot for many midlife women. You may have made 20 good choices Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then erase that progress over one donut. But we don't think like this when we're overweight. We focus on what's wrong with us for eating the donut and what's the problem with me and why can't I just say no? Of course, you're going to want a donut. It's delicious. The problem, though, is restricting and telling yourself you can't have it or you shouldn't want it. All that thinking does, that scarcity mindset, all it does is lead you into eating the food. It's leading you right there to doing the thing that you're not even wanting to do. And the irony of all this is if you had a friend come tell you they made 20 good choices, but then had one donut, and that friend told you, why should I bother? I'm a failure. I can't do this. I can't make good choices. What do you think you would say to that friend? I highly doubt you would say, yep, you're a failure. Don't try to lose weight. You're never going to be able to get healthy, friend. You just can't make good choices. What's wrong with you that you wanted a donut? Give up losing weight, friend. No, you would never tell your friend that. You'd be the worst friend ever. You would likely tell your friend that one donut does not erase all the other 20 good things that they did. It's about consistency, not the one mistake, right? And the donut wasn't even a mistake. It's that you're telling yourself it was a mistake. That's the real issue. The donut example is what happens for midlife women during the holiday season. Pick any food in place of the donut because this is how we think. Because we have this scarcity mindset from all the dieting we've done. Dieting has conditioned us to look at food this way. I made this one choice. I ate this donut. It's a bad, unhealthy food, so therefore I failed, and therefore I must feel bad. You're still thinking like a dieter. You still think in this dichotomous black and white thinking. Trust me, this used to be me. No shame if this is you. When I was 215 pounds, this is exactly how I used to think. My mindset always was like, I had to be perfect, have to have the perfect circumstances, have to have no temptations. And if I ever veered off of the perfection track, I was a failure and I was a loser and I was not succeeding and it wasn't possible for me. And that's because I was always thinking in the extreme that I had to be extremely rigid and perfect in order to get healthy and lose weight. The truth is, perfection is not what it takes. In fact, trying to achieve perfection is what's going to set you up to fail and keep you in this cycle of all or nothing. So, the most powerful trick to making weight loss progress during the holidays is realizing that your dieter's mindset must change. You can no longer tell yourself and believe that you have ruined everything when one unplanned thing happened or one unexpected choice happened and use it as a reason to give up on yourself and abandon all of your health goals. Like, do you abandon brushing your teeth because you ate a donut? That doesn't make sense. But that's what we do. I'm not going to walk anymore because I had a donut. I'm not going to go to the gym anymore. Why bother? I had a donut. The other thing I want you to think about is today is December 1st. You have 31 days until December. There's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Those are only four meals of what's 31 times 3 meals a day? 93 meals. That's only 4 meals out of 93. 4 meals out of 93. Let's say you have a few parties. So what? 3 or 4 meals out at parties? That means 8 meals out of 93. That means you have 85 meals where you can make different choices that help you with your goal of fat loss and just taking care of yourself. Your mindset needs to focus on the 85 meals you can do well and make choices that align with your goals around those 85 times. But what most of us do who are struggling with our weight is we focus on the 8 meals we can't control, the 8 meals we can't do perfectly. That is not how a healthy person thinks. A healthy person does not think to themselves, well, I shouldn't try to take care of myself because 8 out of 93 meals are going to be out of my control and I can't be perfect. A healthy person thinks, I'm going to focus on the 85 meals that I can control and let the other meals be whatever it is and just make as reasonable choices as I can. But 8 meals that are different than my normal and maybe have some more nutrient dense, less nutrient dense foods that are higher in calories, they're not going to ruin my health or cause me to gain all my weight back. That's what a healthy person thinks. But that's not what we think when we're overweight. We focus on the 8 meals we can't do well. That's the mentality you have to shift around. Focus on the 85 meals. That's where your win comes from. You see, the whole reason you go on a weight loss journey is to get healthy, right? I know, what a concept. Weight loss is not about the foods that you're eating. Your weight is merely a reflection of how you have been living your life. So if you want to lose weight, you have to change how you're living your life, how you move your body, how you feed your body, how you show up for yourself, how you set boundaries, how you ask for help, how you deal with life challenges, how you manage stress and emotions, your relationship with food, your relationship with yourself, how you talk to yourself. Always focusing on controlling your weight, controlling the scale, controlling food, putting rules on food, different diets that you do. It doesn't change how you've been living your life. It changes nothing long term. You are not changing when you do that. If your goal is to lose weight, to improve your health, then adopting this powerful mindset shift is the most important thing you can do for yourself. You could be making progress on losing weight with those 85 meals, and you can march right into January without thinking about how bloated and gross you feel and how you need to do some detox and cut out sugar and lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks and how rigid and strict and extreme and good you have to be. That's your dieter's mentality talking. Someone who's healthy never thinks that way. It's crazy when I think about my own transformation because I think about how I used to think about these things. And I think, wow, that was really weird that I used to think that because that's not at all how I live my life today. I focus on the 85 meals I can do well. I don't focus on the 8 days or the 8 meals that I can't do as well. But healthy people don't think this way. They don't think in these extremes. And I want you to think like, how great would it feel to walk into January for the first time in your life and not feel like you're starting over and feeling guilty and feeling gross and feeling bad about your decisions over the holiday season? People who are healthy don't start over in January. They don't think like, what detox do I need? And I need to cut out all my sugar and do Whole 30 and I need to buckle down and exercise 7 days a week. They don't think that way. They simply get back to their baseline routine, their baseline meals, recognizing that, yeah, 8 to 10 meals or 8 to 10 days off aren't going to be things that ruin their health. It's the other 85 meals or the other 27-ish days that matter most. And you could be making tremendous progress on those days. We're never taught to think about things this way. We don't realize that our dieter's mentality is what's preventing us from reaching our goals. It's a blind spot. And I've noticed this with a lot of clients that I've worked with over the years. I've been coaching midlife women for 11 years as my full-time job. I've seen hundreds of midlife women in my coaching practice, and this is one of many, many weight loss blind spots I've seen as a coach over and over again. And like I said, I used to think this way too when I was 215 pounds. This is exactly how I used to think about losing weight. So no shame if this is you. We all think this way because diets we have done have made us think in this black and white mentality about our habits and taking care of ourselves. Think about Weight Watchers. They give you a green or a red with your points in their app. That red and green instills this thinking that you succeeded or you failed that day. Noom does the same thing, and other calorie tracking apps do this same thing as well. You succeeded or you failed. And when you think you failed, you want to throw in the towel. This is why if you are tracking calories before correcting your all or nothing thinking, you may find yourself struggling because your all or nothing thinking will always highlight your fails more than your successes. And like the example of the 8 holiday meals versus the 85 meals, you focus on the 8 meals and how you failed with those 8 meals versus the 85 that you did mostly well. And it's all conditioning from all these different diets that we keep doing. This is a blind spot for midlife women and why so many women don't even try to lose weight or do anything positive for their health during the holidays. You may not realize that this is a blind spot for you. You may just think this is what it takes to lose weight from all the diets you've done. You've just been conditioned to think this way, but it's not true. One of my clients who's in her 50s began working with me last December of 2024. And she told me last month in our coaching call that she didn't realize all her blind spots were causing her weight not to budge. When we first met, she told me, Megan, I'm doing everything right. But her weight wasn't budging. She was counting calories, she was exercising, but her sugar cravings were out of control. Her weight wouldn't budge. And she legitimately believed she was doing everything right. Fast forward a year later, and my client has lost 20 pounds, and she doesn't have the intense sugar cravings. And my client told me in our coaching call just before Thanksgiving that she looks back to how she really believed she was doing everything right, but now understands where her blind spots were. Things she just didn't realize were causing her to struggle and her weight not to budge. And one of her blind spots was what I shared with you today, her all or nothing mindset that she got from Weight Watchers and all the different diets that she did. You see, we've all been conditioned to think about weight loss as just eat less. I succeeded or I failed, but that's not how healthy people live. There's much more nuance to weight loss than just eat less. Please, please understand if your weight is not budging and you feel like you're doing everything right, that is very likely that you have blind spots, just like my client did. things you're just not seeing on your own or things you're just not realizing are getting in the way of losing weight. And I do want to remind you, I have that three-part video workshop on weight loss blind spots for midlife women and how to fix your blind spots. So if your weight is not budging and you feel like you're doing everything right, make sure you grab the link to the weight loss blind spots workshop. It's in the show notes. That can begin helping you right now. And I do talk about mindset stuff in that workshop as well. So if you've been struggling and you want to march into January feeling like you're not starting over, and you really want to defeat this all or nothing mindset, start with that workshop. My clients started last December, and if you are listening to this thinking you need to wait until January to work on all of these things, that's your all or nothing mentality talking. That's not how healthy people talk or think. Imagine if you began your health journey now in December, how different you would feel in January. That's what my client did, and it helped her a lot. Helped her get through the holiday season without being a basket case in January thinking she needed to do something crazy and strict in order to like get herself back together, right? No more feeling guilty for how you ate or what you ate during the holidays. No more extreme food rules. No crazy exercise routine or detox or sugar-free plans or Whole30. Just normal eating. That is what's possible for you with the right support plan and guidance. And I know you've done like 9,538 different diets. And so you're like, why would this work? I'm telling you it would work because this is the key to unlocking everything is your all or nothing mindset. And I can help you. And if you are somebody who says, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it, it's because you don't have a plan for how to do this, for how to put this into action. It's one thing to know the things to do. It's a whole nother thing to put it into action. And without a plan, overwhelm sets in, which paralyzes you from doing anything or knowing like what to focus on or where to start. And then if you have this all or nothing thinking on top of it, of course, you're just never going to be doing anything. I know all the things to do, but I'm not doing it. You don't have a plan. And then on top of it, you've got this all or nothing thinking that's keeping you stuck in this cycle. If you work with me, I will give you a plan. I will work with you to develop a plan, not just say, you must do this like a mandate. That's a diet. Coaching is about figuring out what's going to work for you. And it's a collaborative process. And the process is not, let's just see how good you can be and put you on this diet, because that's no better than doing Weight Watchers or Noom or just calorie counting. That's no better than doing those things. Coaching is a collaboration, and it's about figuring out what's going to work for you. So you know exactly where to start to reduce that overwhelm so you can start making progress. You know exactly where you need to focus your efforts that are going to be the biggest bang for your buck. I'm going to show you this is the stuff I want you to focus on, not all these other 20 things over here that everybody on social media keeps trying to trick you with. I'm going to show you this is the stuff you need to focus on. This is the biggest bang for your buck and how to make small, impactful changes that are simple to add to your life that you can feel good about. I can help you. So stop waiting. You are the most important project of your life. I want you to come into January feeling great, feeling like you've defeated this all or nothing mindset, had a great holiday season that you enjoyed, and you're not beating yourself up or feeling like you need to do something crazy in order to get yourself back together in January. It's time to defeat your all or nothing thinking. It's time to walk into January, not restarting. And I can help you do that. Ladies, I hope you have a great kickoff to this holiday season, great kickoff to your December. I'll talk to you soon.